Hello everyone! Time to review the new banner with Greil. I'm sorry it's a bit late. I already had everything ready yesterday, but yesterday was a pretty charged day for me in real life, so I could not actually work on this, but here we are. And let's start with Soren. I'm going to go in order by worst to best, as I used to do, but then stopped for whatever reason. First off is Soren. So Soren comes in with a new weapon called Blooms, and Mist also has a Bloom Tome, which makes me think those might become part of the pool down the line. For some reason though, Titania has the same type. It is a Bloom Tome. Except it isn't. It's very strange. It doesn't have the same name, nor does it look anywhere the same. Yeah, Soren is the worst of the banner, though he's still pretty solid. The problem is, there's two things that is a problem. He's seasonal, Reinhardt exists, Reinhardt is 3 to 4 star, Reinhardt is always in the pool. And also, just his defense. 14 defense is not going to do you any favor. Attack respawn is also not really difficult to get to begin with. Shame really, because Soren is one of the better written character of the banner, but oh well. Quite the shame. Comes with res opening. Frankly, if you're going to be giving res opening, give rally attack speed +2, but wait in March, because then you can actually offer both at once. It's not ideal because you still have to kill a unit with rally attack speed, but it's an option. Still, nothing he brings is really new or interesting. Res opening is probably the worst opening skill, because attack always helps you. Speed is just a really difficult buff to get in general. Def is always useful, and res is only really good against dragon in arena, and in AR, unless you have 50 res, you don't have res. That's just what it is. Because if you don't have 50 res, you're going to get broken into by like AoE spammers like it's nothing. That's kind of just what it is. Shame, but it is what it is. Moving to comparison, as I said, Reinhardt exists. Soren doesn't have a def stat. His speed is impressive, but if you're going to go for a Blade Tome user or something of the like, Katrina is just a much more consistent user. Has 1 less HP but 4 more defense to make up for it, so anything that is a dragon she can tank a lot easier. With, you know, just 45 cav, she hits 60 defense, Fury 63. To take 1 hit is pretty easy. Soren can kind of make that work, but at the end of the day, he's just kind of a worse Katrina. Because at the end of the day, both of them kind of wants Blade Tome, because unlike Reinhardt, who has an actual breath that is super well fit for him, those two don't. And they don't really have the stat for an Al Tome, and if you can't run an Al Tome, you have to be running a Blade Tome, and if you can't run either of those, you're typically a cheerleader. Like, Katrina is actually a much better cheerleader for that reason, because she has a double chill, or reverse chill, whatever. She has Yugin's Heg, which works as a debuffing tool, whereas Soren has a +3 to all stat, which +3 when you have 14 defense. Not really relevant. Though his weapon is really good on a lot of other units, though at the end of the day that's also kind of shaky, because right now it's only for seasonal units. That's a big problem. You can't even use the fact that, oh, it has more might than Al Tome, because at the end of the day, if you have 2 people next to you with an Al Tome that is refined, because for those who don't know, an Al Tome has 10 might, and when it's refined, it goes up to 11. If it's attack refined, that's 12. The point is, however, if you are next to someone with Bloom, you're going to have 15 attack on the tome. And if you're next to 2 people with an Al Tome that's refined, that's 15 attack as well. while also having more speed, def, res by 1 point. Also not locked to seasonals. That's the big thing, really. It being locked to seasonal kind of makes it pointless. Though, at the end of the day, the tome he has is more consistent, because you can't always have 2 people around you, but that's really the best thing I can say about Blarbloom. So yeah, Katreya would be just the better Soren overall, and how... it's been, what, 10 months since she's been out? Yikes. Moving on to builds. Well, as you can see, there's not much here. Blarblade is just the most ideal thing you can run on him. Res is the best dump stat for Soren and Mist for that for the only reason that the def is so low that if you go any lower, you can't actually salvage this. So you need to actually keep as much as you can, so you can at least hit a blow to get into desperation. So yeah. Pretty underwhelming. And speaking of underwhelming, here's Mist. Now, Mist is actually fairly good. The reason why I say underwhelming is because of the competition she has to face. Which is kind of funny because there's only 4 other green mage cav, but one of them is just really difficult to beat. Just like Soren, she has fairly low defense, which is kind of a problem, though it's more salvageable here. If you can at least get maybe 1 merge, you can actually get decent enough HP and also fix your Bane if it's defense or speed or attack or HP. Because res is really the only Bane you can really take and be safe. You can actually use Ground Blooms on her fairly decently. It's a shaky decently, however, because, again, it's really IV reliant or merge reliant. She's also Swift Sparrow number 16 or 17, I lost count at this point. There's so many units with Swift Sparrow. It comes out every banner like it's the best premium skill out there, but guys, it's been almost 2 years since it exists. You can stop now. Stop, please. Race Feint is another feint skill. I guess it's just to finish the quad. It's not a good skill. As I keep saying, and I'm sure I'm sounding like a dead horse at this point, feint skills are not bad, but res is garbage. Res is hardly ever relevant nowadays. So, The best part about her is really Rally Def Res Plus or Green Tone Valor if you don't have Summer Release yet. That's kind of all there is to it when it comes down to fodder. Now as a unit she can be fairly decent in Arena Assault. Same thing with Soren also. They are good Arena Assault characters, but that's pretty much the only place where they really shine, and even there they have a lot of competition, considering La Rochelle, Ursula, you know, a lot of characters that are fairly easy to get can actually do their role for the most part. Moving to comparison, this is the thing that makes her shaky. Bulk-wise, they are basically the same, so there's that. But offensively speaking, Olwen is just better. Yes, if you're just talking offensive stat alone, it's true Mist is actually better than Olwen, but Olwen has Thunderhead. And considering Mist's best tome is still Blade fucking Tome, you're comparing basically a 14-mind Blade Tome that actually scores better to begin with. No, that's not really relevant for this, but the point is, you don't have the extra charge to go through, which means you can actually run Glimmer, Desperation, and Heavy Blade very easily, very consistently, and that completely makes up for the fact that you have 4 less attack. Mist can't do that. She's just innately completely worse than Olwen. That's not to say, you know, she's a terrible character. She is good. But Olwen just does what she does better. So, yeah. also part of the main pool, so you don't have like just this 1 month to summon to summon Olwen. You always have her in the pool. So yeah, that's another problem. Speaking about builds, it's basically the same as Soren. I know. There's really not much else to say here. You have to run Fury to make up for your bulk problem. And Desperation just is basic. That's like not wanting to run Desperation on Nino with a Blade Tome. Like, you should be running this. Speed plus 3 is also a decent enough seal if you think you have too much speed, but that's basically it. Moving on to Greil, and oh boy, Greil. Coming in with one of the most most sought after skill, Fury 4. Boy oh boy, Greil and Ike are like the two characters I want to pull just to fodder them off. No offense to anyone who likes those two, but personally, Fury 4 on my gem key would be insane, which by the way is +9 in flowers, and +7. Getting +8 with this stream, that's gonna be in what, 3 hours? It's 6:48 AM EST right now, so... yeah, I'm trying to get this video done in time and out in time. I might also have Refined Theory Crafting by then, because everything is ready for this. It has been ready for a while, I just never had the time to really sit down and actually record. Anyway, Fury 4 is a really good skill, but not a lot of people can use it, and it really makes me confused as to why Greil of all people has it. You're giving Wary Fighter a skill that requires you to be over half health to a character that has an A skill that kills 1/6 of his HP every round. What are you doing? Also, fun fact, Greil is the same dude that voiced Rayson. Rayson has a great VA, but I don't think Greil got a good VA personally. I guess Frank is a good VA, just cannot do a character that really fits Greil. Greil sounds like he's fucking 50, 60. Like, 20 years younger than maybe Riss. I don't get it. Rayson has, like, the perfect voice, and I don't know. It just feels too old. But, yeah. His stat line is very reminiscent to Surtur, which should not make you really surprised who I take as a comparison. Faithful Axe is one of the most busted fucking weapon we've got in a while, especially on a seasonal. And same thing about Earth Sword. They are very, 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 very good weapon. You can combo them into bonds, especially now that we have bonds in seal form. Jesus Christ. Attack Res Bond is also available at 4-star on Winter Cecilia. So you can just like combo Attack Res Bond with Attack Def Bond and this fucking weapon, and you're sitting at like 13 attack, 3 speed, 8 def, and 8 res with a character that has 38 def and 30 res. It's really nasty. You can combo this so easily. But yeah, let's move to comparison. Wow, what a surprise. Surtur is just better. The problem with Surtur is not the fact that his stat line is better. Personally, I do consider Ike to have a better stat line overall. Though he is a bit frailer, he does do a bit more damage. But the thing is, Surtur comes with Surtur's Menace, which gives him a +4 to all stat while debuffing everything on the enemy side by 4 for anyone in his near vicinity, which is absolutely annoying to deal with. And Sinmara, which does a flat 20 damage that he can just repeat over and over, really is fucking pathetic when we have something like Upheaval that could have been an AoE special, which is something I read recently and I was like, well, that actually makes sense. But yeah, we have Upheaval that hits once for 7 to all enemies. Wowzers, why does Sinmara does 20 damage and can be repeated every single turn? Who the fuck knows? If it was every 2 turns, it would not even be that broken. Anyway, So yeah, stat-wise, Greil is slightly better personally, not by much, but Surtur's weapon and pref skill are just way too good. Which is a shame. Greil is a good character, so I guess I'm just hoping for a better her event to come out when he gets released, but we'll see. And hopefully Frank has a better handle at the character. So yeah, talking about build, I've already talked about this. It's a bit wonky to use considering you have to have someone next to you while you're on the offensive. But you are so bulky with this. With just def and res tactic, you can actually hit 52 defense and 48 res. Getting killed becomes very difficult, and on top of that you have 75 attack. Yeah. Greil hits like a truck. This is Blade Tome levels of attack. Though again, as I said, it's a bit wonky to use. You can use it with Aether as well, so you can charge it up. Like, you can just attack, get 2 charge, get hit, 2 charge again, so your Aether is ready for the enemy phase. And then, as a result, you can just face tank whatever it is, and it just explodes. Because 75 attack tends to do a lot of damage with Aether. And he comes with Aether anyway, so it's a good combo. But yeah, not much else to say about him. Now let's talk about the absolute best that this banner has, which is Ike. Oh boy, Ike, what the fuck happened? So I was more or less right. I was thinking 40 attack or 37 attack with 35 speed. I was off by 3 points in speed. And my god, so Ike's only weakness is going to be against dragons. Dragons are always going to be a problem for him, but whenever it's something that's melee, he's going to crush them. And even dragons, to some extent, he can deal with, because Special Fighter will allow him to take a hit, proc Aether, and heals himself back up. But that will come down to how much charge you're at, because if you start a combat with 4 charges, get hit, attack back while proccing while they have like 2 HP left, you don't heal much, because you only heal depending on the amount of HP your enemy has. Still, Radiant Aether is absolutely amazing and really helps him out. And the fact that it's a 4 cooldown special and that he doesn't have the shitty version of Aether means he can run literally any weapon effectively. It's absolutely fantastic, and the fact that it's not fucking Ragnell is great also. The fact that he has DC right away instead of Ragnell means that you can just run whatever you want. Ragnell would just be base Ragnell anyway, and base Ragnell is outdated, underwhelming, and unperforming, especially with 19 res. Hardest Blade is absolutely busted. I cannot stress this enough. So many units can use this really well. The reason why I said I wanted to fodder this guy was to give it to Guntra. My New Year Guntra can hit 40 def res, and with this, comboed with a bond skill, comboed with aerobatics, is fucking insane. You can hit insane amount of attack while increasing your bulk and speed very consistently, and you can refine it unlike Ikami for Guntra in our case. It's a really good weapon for Guntra. I cannot stress this enough. I'll most likely try to pull him when he comes back on the Legendary banner, because right now, this month I have Rid I want to pull and finish the plus 10 up. We're going to have a banner based on the Search Heroes thing, which is probably not going to have anyone I like on, because, ooh, gotta vote for Azura, the character that has no fodder, wowzers. So, whatever, but the point is, this month is Rid, next month is Ryoma, the month after is going to be possibly Guntra's rerun. If it's not, I might hold myself from summoning at all that month just to make sure that Guntra gets the plus 10 straight away once she actually comes back. But we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, the only thing I would say that's kind of a problem for him is even Speed Wave is kind of irrelevant for him. Unless you get speed minus, but he has so much speed as is, and Hardest Blade gives him an extra 3 speed, And on top of that, you can refine the weapon to speed if you really feel like it's not enough. You're already at 44 speed. You don't need outside help or fucking smoke skill at that point. And if you really need it, you can just run attack speed bond. Fucking out. Though attack def bond is obviously the better choice, but that's beside the point. Still, overall, a very good unit. It's just, as I said, the C skill has to be replaced in a lot of cases. The only comparison you can really make for him is Zelgus. There's really no one else you can compare to him. And for some reason he has more attack in his Path of Radiance form than he does in his Brave Ike and Vanguard Ike form, which are both, you know, when he actually is swole in his games, when he has like muscles the size of someone's head. Yeah, less attack than this one that is super scrawny. What? It's so weird. But here we are, and on top of it, he's actually speedy. So, if we're talking comparison Zelgus to this Ike, Zelgus is easier to plus 10 considering he's gonna appear on more banners than Ike is, considering Ike is a seasonal. But I'd say they're about even. The thing is, Black Luna is a really good special. So is Radiant Ether. It comes down to where you're using them. Brave Ike is going to be a better character overall if you're using him in anything that has reinforcement than Zelgus is. Zelgus is a character that's really good at killing, but has like no way to sustain himself. This is the same kind of logic why I said Ellie Wood is literally the best unit to plus 10 from GHBs in a lot of cases, because you can actually just run Aether for him very well, whereas Zelgus doesn't really use it all that well unless you run Slaying Edge with Special Fighter, and that's literally just a Ike without the freedom of choice when it comes down to the weapon. Yeah, and also with less speed, so less consistent. You see what I mean? It's... Zelgus is going to struggle in reinforcement, but when it comes down to Arena, Zelgus is still the strongest red to deal with. Special Fighter Halloween Myrrh with Fortress Death Res is also very dangerous, but I mean, it's workable. In a lot of cases, she's just kind of like a huge bead stick, which if you're blue is not going to be that dangerous. So, But yeah, to put it simply, Zelgus is going to be better in arena or very short fights, and Ike is going to be better everywhere else. Tempest Trial especially. Anything like Chain Challenge and Tempest Trial, Ike is going to reign supreme, for the same reason why Brave Ike and Legendary Ike have been absolutely insane in those modes. So, yeah. Moving to builds, really not much to say here. Stack them bonds. This encounter can also be switched for any other bonds of your choosing, like Attack Res Bond. If Attack Res Bond ever becomes a seal, and you actually merge them up to fix the Res Bane, double Attack Res Bond is actually not that bad with a Res Refine, because then you'd be sitting at 36 Res, 42 Def and 36 Res. Good enough. And then on top of it you add buffs, so you'd be able to hit upward to 42 res. Yeah, it's very workable. It just, we kind of need Attack Res Bond to become a seal for that, so it's really a question of time more than anything. But yeah, this was my analysis for the banner. There's not much else to say about this. I kind of went quick. I'm trying to keep those I'm trying to be a bit quicker when delivering information than I was before, because I don't want to be repeating myself nearly as much as I've been. But yeah, this is as condensed as I can condense it. Expect the refined theory crafting, possibly. That's a very maybe. We'll see. Today is the day I stream, and it's the first day I have that I can actually sit down and you know, actually record stuff. But since I'm streaming, I can't really do anything about this. I'm still going to try to get this video out. The Tempestral video, the Tempestral unit, aka Titania, that's going to be its own video. And the seal, I have to wait until Tempestral starts, sadly, to be able to finish working on it, because Zanuck has no idea what type of badges are going to be needed for aerobatics, so I can't really do anything about that. It's gonna be a wait and see kind of deal. Still, the refined video, I still have to actually work on builds. I thought I was done with the video, but I realized, oh yeah, last video I actually showcased builds. I should also be doing that. Oh my god. Well, it's just a matter of wait and see, I suppose. But, yeah. Have a nice one, everyone. See you later.